Commissioner and the deputies. I think even the divisional commissioners were there.
And I suppose you would have just had a briefing or general discussion with him. But as the year proceeded, 2024, after July 2024, there would have been more sort of focused discussions on various areas within the South African police services to, as it were, bring him up to speed.
Yeah, as they gained momentum and with all the deputies as well, according to their responsibilities, we began to gain speed. And as we gain speed, you get more engaged in a lot of different issues. There was a number of issues like the signing of the memorandum of understanding with the stakeholders. It will be a lot of meetings with the people like the cash industry. Why do we have cash in transit? Why do we have this? And let's meet these ones. Let's meet with the metros. Let's do this. Let's do that. So there's a whole lot of things that were taking place with the minister and the nation commissioner, the whole management.
Did you in any of these engagements discuss the political killings task team?
No, because to me, the political task team, I was not involved in the political task team. So it was a door that was closed that we never really worried ourselves with going forward.
So someone like Lieutenant General, Major General Khumalo.
Khumalo is a Lieutenant General. We've got the Major General as well, and we've got the Lieutenant General, Lieutenant Keller.
So Lieutenant General Khumalo, who, in terms of the document, delegation of authorities, powers, functions document, and the SEPS organogram, he resorts under you as the Deputy National Commissioner.
Then,
did he ever account to you about what the political killings task team was doing?
No. There's only one time where he wrote a letter requesting for a meeting with the following senior managers. Then he named them all. And the purpose was to say, look, he was in need of resources, detectives, because apparently some of the detectives that he used to use, they went back to their respective stations. So he read a letter wherein he was actually asking for a meeting. It was the very first time I attended that meeting. I think I once attended another one in KZN. I'm not so sure about it, but I've never participated. If ever I attended the meetings 1 or 2 times. Is that one? This other one was more about the resources, but that one, it was the first time I attended. I think the minister was there, and even the national commissioner confirmed it and said that there's one meeting that he attended, but the rest I never attended.
And what was your relationship with Mkhwanazi, Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi?
I must say I've had a good working relationship with General Mkhwanazi for years, and there was no issue at all. The only issue came just after the arrest of AKA. It came just after the arrest of AKA. I participated as the team were planning, and even in my case,
okay, Honorable Nhlanhla.
Thank you, Chair, and apologies for doing this. The General is talking about an arrest of AKA. I'm not sure if should we take it that automatically he's referring to the arrest of the alleged murderers of AKA. So maybe if that can be, we don't want to assume that he's talking about what we think he's talking about, because he's referring to an arrest of AKA.
Or whether he assumes that we all know what AKA.
My apology,
is.
Chair and member.
We're not joking about it. It's a very sensitive matter. We just saying that for the purpose of our records. If we can say everything for what it is. Yeah.
Thank you, Chair, and my apology, honorable members. That is where the difference between myself and General Mkhwanazi came in, and it was not meant to be a big issue. After the arrest of those that were involved, now we were somewhere in Cape Town with in an operation. It was Minister Kele then, but the minister came, approached me and said, "Tell me, are you sure the people that were arrested are the right people?" And I said, "I'm quite sure, Minister," because I was involved in the process. I said, "I'm quite sure." He said, "Can I have the team to brief me? Because I am the one who is going to be asked also in other forums, especially the media." I said, "That can be arranged, Minister. Let me arrange it right away." I then contacted the province. Now, in contacting the province, I contacted the Deputy Provincial Commissioner of KZN. Yes, it is indeed true that I was supposed to actually contact the Provincial Commissioner as the Provincial Commissioner of KZN. But I contacted the Deputy Provincial Commissioner simply because of we have been having a good relationship with General Mkhwanazi. I never thought he will actually make a big issue out of it. The main reason was, normally when I contact him, you find that he is busy in a meeting. He's chairing a meeting. And normally when he chairs a meeting, either his phone is on silent or is with someone else. Then I would then call the next person who I think can assist. The process, the intention was just to try and make sure that there's not going to be any delay. Now, and I said, "Can you please arrange with the team members and also inform the Provincial Commissioner?" That was General Mkhwanazi at the province. General Mkhwanazi later came to me and said, "Hey, General, can you please call the PC yourself because he's not impressed?" I said, "Okay." And I called the PC with all the confidence that I had because I knew we had the relationship, me and him. And then when he responded, he was fuming. He was very angry. And he said, "La, Sibiya, General, you're not going to phone my province and order my people around." And I said, whoa, General, we are not fighting. Nobody's fighting, please. Let's not go there. He says, "You call my people here and you tell them that the minister they must come to head office and I don't know about that thing." I said, "No, General, I'm apologizing, but I just wanted to carry out the instruction." He said, "No member is going to Pretoria. No one is going there. I don't report to politicians." That is what he said. He said, but when he said, "You go tell the minister that I say," I also didn't take it kind that, but we are all trained members of the South African Police Service, and we grew up within the discipline of the police. And from a student, you get trained who must salute who must stand up when who comes in, who must actually salute, who must greet who, how. Now, the way he's heavy and talking to me in an aggressive manner, his tone was very heavy. I didn't take it kind myself. Then I said, "But General, when you order me now and say I must go tell the minister that you are ordering me around now, and in fact, it wasn't meant to be like that. I mean, you're senior for you to talk to me the way." Then he said, "Oh, I don't know where you're coming with this thing of you being a senior." Then he dropped the phone. Then he followed me with a very long message that tells me that he's appointed in terms of the constitution, and then I'm appointed in terms of the police regulation, and then he's responsible for policing in KZN. Say from now onwards, you've got nothing to do with KZN. And now I'm being banned by the provincial commissioner to operate in KZN when in fact I'm operating nationally. When you call meetings to discuss the project at head office, his people are not there. KZN is beginning to suffer. The project are not there. The cash in transit people want to know. Cash in transit is high in KZN. We've got hitmen in KZN. We've got drugs at the harbors. We've got a lot of crime. We've got the people burning the trucks. We've got a number of issues that were happening in KZN, and yet we need to intervene from head office, and then there's no relationship. So KZN was suffering. So it was a question of we need to fix this relationship so that at least crime does not suffer. That is how it happened.
Is that your reference to what you say in paragraph 111 of your statement, page 34?
Yes.
And what was that date?
I don't have the date, Chair. The date in which that happened.
Or maybe just give us a month. It was in here.
I can simply say it is the AKA arrest. It was on the day the people were arrested. Because what happened? It was an anniversary. It was almost a year after the murder of AKA. And the spokesperson comes and says, the media wants to know what is going on. It's almost a year and there's nothing that is happening on the arrest of the ANC. So what must I tell the media? At the same time, that's when I started getting involved too much with the team and say, guys, now it's all in our name and now we are being disgraced here. Now what is going on? How can we assist? How can we support that we trace these people? Then we arranged a meeting with the team. And then myself and the National Commissioner, we flew to Durban. We met the team with the acting provincial commissioner, if I remember. But there was a team there and the prosecutor that was involved. We met at the airport. And then we agreed that they will actually arrest because we knew where the people are and who was involved. And they agreed they were going to arrest, and they arrested.
So, can you recall whether this was before or after a meeting that both of you had, also with the minister present? That was it in May this year?
No. That one of AKA, it was more of, it was Minister Kele. Sorry? It was Minister Kele at that time. Yeah. And this other one of May, it was Minister Senzo Mkhunu.
Yeah, I'm talking about that meeting.
What about, yes,
were the two of you in a meeting?
Yes.
And what was the purpose of that meeting? What was discussed at that?
The minister really, I saw a message, an email that was sent to me. An email that was sent to us. It was the email that was sent to us to say that there is going to be a meeting with the following individuals: the one with the minister and the national commissioner and myself, and the other one with the national commissioner, myself, and then Minister General Mkhwanazi, and the minister. And in that meeting, the minister actually opened the meeting and he indicated the purpose for the meeting, and that we as senior managers, if we really don't find a way of resolving our challenges or our issues, it is South Africans that suffer. And then you would want us to find a way to resolve whatever issues that exist. And then we were okay with the meeting. We shook hands with General Mkhwanazi. We saluted. We left after the meeting.
But you know, in his evidence, he says he doesn't want to shake hands with the colonel.
Minister, Chair, and Honorable Chair and Honorable Members, it is not true. It was a very matured meeting. There was no fight because immediately after that meeting, General Mkhwanazi invited me to the Police Excellence Awards.
I think the invite, look at page 164 of the core bundle. 164. That was on the, it's a meeting for the 6th of June. Or have you got 164 of the core bundle? Maybe you tell us what that is.
Yes. Now,
Is this after the meeting?
this is after the meeting. The meeting is on page, the previous page. Oh,
162. This is, yeah, from
yes,
Brigadier Letoko. Letoko is in the office of the National
of
Commission.
the National Commission.
And it's to Leon Avenant, Colonel, National Commissioner, MLC, KZN Provincial Commission. And also copied to you, Mkhwanazi, Sabola, Melissa Nchilani, and the PA for the National Commissioner. Subject, private meeting between the Minister, National Commissioner, DNC, Sibiya, and KZN BC Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi. It is dated the 12th of May, 2025. Kindly be informed of the below scheduled meeting of the Minister with NATCOM, DNC, Crime Detection, and PC KZN at Minister's residence in Pretoria. So is that the meeting you refer to?
Yes.
So
Chair.
that meeting you say you shook hands, and your recollection is that that was cordial.
It is indeed so, Chair. And I'm told that if I check properly on the record, I think the meeting was actually on request by General Mkhwanazi himself that there should be this meeting so that we can address the issues that are outstanding. Now, on the 2nd of July, 2025. No, not that one.
No, 164. 164.
Yeah, 164.
Yeah.
I received an invitation signed by the Provincial Commissioner of KZN, General Mkhwanazi, where he says that invitation to the Provincial Excellence Awards KwaZulu-Natal on 6 June. The KwaZulu-Natal province will be hosting the Provincial Excellence Awards to award members and officers who rendered outstanding service on Friday, 6 June 2025 at International Convention Center in Durban. All guests are required to be seated by 17:30. On behalf of the KwaZulu-Natal Provincial Commissioner, Lieutenant General N.S. Mkhwanazi, you are kindly invited to attend this important meeting event. Please RSVP not later than 2025-0603 to confirm your attendance. Should you wish to have any questions or need further assistance, please contact Colonel Funani at this number or Warrant Officer Stradom at this number. So,
So did you attend this awards evening?
I did attend. I did attend it.
And what was that occasion like? I take
Chair-
it the National Commissioner was also there.
Chair, I just don't want to make a mistake. I do know that there's one I didn't attend, but this one I don't think I attended. I didn't attend this one. There's one that I attended where it was now with the police. Well, on 165, Chair.
This is addressed to you. It's dated this 2nd of July.
Before I get onto this one, Chair, I want to indicate that even subsequent to that meeting with the Minister and General Mkhwanazi, I've shared a stage with General Mkhwanazi when we were going to address the Comrade Marathon colleagues that were going to participate in the Comrade Marathon. It was myself, General Mkhwanazi, and the National Commissioner. This General Mkhwanazi who spoke, then I spoke, then the National Commissioner, giving a message of support to the team. So we've been working together. I've been KZN many a times where we were working together. Even on the 4th, the Friday before the 6th of July, I got a call. The National Commissioner sent me to Parliament. I was on my way to Parliament to go and represent the National Commissioner this side. I got a call from General Mkhwanazi. And then he said to me, "Hello, boss, you called me boss on that day." He said, "Hello, boss, will you be attending will you be coming to Durban?" I said, "Yes, General, I will be there." And then he said, "Ubo Chopel," he said, "You must let me know because you are the senior manager of the South African Police Service. I must know when you are in the province because you will have a puncture and the next thing you won't know what happened to you." I said, "No, General, I will let you know." And then I didn't let him know though, but I went to Durban. So I'm just indicating or rather demonstrating that even on the 4th of July, the eve of the press conference, I spoke to him and I didn't even know and I didn't see it coming actually. Thank you, Chair.
So there's a number of events leading up to the 6th of July, and that includes a private meeting held with the minister where you and him were present. And you say you shook hands, and your recollection is that that was a cordial meeting, and there was nothing untoward at that meeting. That was in May. Then in June, you get an invitation to attend a Provincial Excellence Award, and then subsequently you also went to Durban on the 4th of July at his invitation.
No, I didn't go at his invitation.
Please correct me.
He asked me whether will I be coming to KZN. Okay. I said, yes, I will be in KZN. There is this event that normally takes place every July in Durban. So he was asking whether I'll be going, and I said, yes, I'll be there.
And this is after the minister's letter of the 31st of December 2024. This is after your letters that you wrote?
Yeah, that is long after that.
Honorable Chair, is this a convenient point to break for lunch, perhaps? Before I go on to a new topic. As you wish, Chair. Yeah. So, before we get to the letter of the 31st of December, do you know Brown Mkhwanazi?
I know Brown Mkhwanazi.
How do you know him?
Brown Mkhwanazi, I know him as an activist in Northwest, but I didn't know him. I also Googled him and I saw him at some point. He was commenting and making it was an interview, but relating to the former premier and Gauteng, former premier of Northwest. And he also contacted me. Remember that he would also collect some information there around there, what is going on, whether be it the tender-related corruptions there or concerns that he had. And then also he ended up also aiding the fact that, look, I just also want to warn you that you must know that the intelligence people are working on you. They're busy in your case after you. I knew about it, and then he was just telling me something that I was aware of. And I even spoke to the National Commissioner about it at some point. I said, NASCOM, I just got this strange call from this person. He says he's Brown. I didn't know Brown Mkhwanazi, but he said he's Brown. And then we were leaving his office, and the National Commissioner said, well, let's keep on listening to him and let's hear what he says. And we didn't entertain it further.
What is your relationship, if any, with Brown Mkhwanazi?
Senior Counsel, just before you proceed. General, are you saying that he called you?
You called me, Chair.
And informed you that the intelligence people are listening to you or are investigating you?
Yes, Chair, and that was the case.
Without you having had a discussion with him before about a matter like that?
Yes, Chair.
Okay.
I had not even met him, not even once. Even my records can show.
But he phoned you?
He did call me.
So his phone will show that? His phone will show that he phoned you?
Yes, the record can indicate that. The records are there. They should be there. Yeah.
So how does he get your number? I mean, a senior person like you in the police, I'm sure a lot of our citizens would want to phone higher up sometimes when they're frustrated because a crime that's not being addressed or followed up or solved, and then they want to phone higher up. Now, you don't know this guy?
Counsel, I don't know this guy. I never contacted him before, and you do get it because at this level, you get calls from citizens of this country, and they will tell you that I'm so and so. I've been given your number by so and so and so and so. Sometimes another one will call and say, "How can I get this person?" And then they will phone around. Ultimately, they'll come across your number. Even the ministers, they do get calls from people they least expected from.
So he must have gotten your number from a third party or some people.
That's correct.
And there's nothing unusual about that, you said?
It happens all the time, Counsel.
And he also gave you some information that, some people are after you, words to that effect.
That's correct, Chair.
So he's peddles information.
If the council put it that way.
Of a political nature.
If the council put it that way, that he will call you and tell you that, hey, Chief, be careful, 1, 2, 3, 4 is happening. And then mine is to see how I deal with this information.
Okay. And did you ever meet him in person?
Yes, twice.
When was that and where?
The very first time when we went to operate in KZ in Durban, January 8th, we were there on official duties.
On?
Official duties.
Yeah.
And then he called and said, "Will you be in Cape Town?" I said, "Yes, I will be there. Side will be working." He said, "I'll come greet you because we are going there." I said, "It's fine." And then he did come to the hotel where I was at that time. And he came, greeted me. It was during breakfast, and he left in town.
And where was that? Which hotel was that? In Cape Town?
Yeah, in Cape Town, in town. But it's one of the Southern Sun hotels.
Was that with the January 8th?
Yes.
Yeah. So he was here. Were you also here for the party celebrations on January 8th?
No, I was here on official duties. The top management of the police will be here to run the operations. We are all here, all of us. So you will get a people that you know. I met a lot that I know, and we will greet each other when we met. I had the issue of the Camps Bay, but in Camps Bay, it was actually a friend of mine, Malusi Zondo, that I met at Camps Bay, Tiger's Mill. They were there also eating, and I said, "Okay, I'll come and see you," and then greeted and we left.
But why would you give audience to someone you don't know? He must have some kind of influence to access you directly and even to have breakfast with you. Not many people who don't.
No, I can't say really, Chair. I don't have any reason to say, no, I can't see you. You're talking to a person over the phone all the time. You're talking to the person over the phone, and then he tells you and says, "Will you be there?" And I say, "Yes." I say, "I'll come and greet you." I say, "It's okay." To me, I didn't see anything wrong.
But he must have dropped a name or two to persuade you to meet him for breakfast.
No, he didn't drop names other than telling me that, "Chief, be careful here and there." And then he will give me information. And the information that he gave me, you find that is the information that I know and that I see is happening around me.
So did he give you that information there over breakfast?
No, all the time when we speak, some people you want to avoid, but some people you cannot avoid, because if someone gives you something that you know you may need, you listen to him as and when he calls.
So how many calls did he make to you, more or less? You said you mentioned you spoke to him all the time.
Yeah, at that time it wasn't that many times, but he's the kind of a person that I never really deliberately, so I never wanted to block him. I deal with information, and then there's no way I will block him. I will listen to him every time he calls, because you block the person, the next thing this was the person was going to save you for one or other reasons. I need that information.
So you must have found him to be at least very interesting and someone who's worth listening to, because the information that he was giving you strikes you as stuff that you knew or knew of. And so you were curious, how does this guy know all these things?
You see, my job, Chair and honorable members, I deal with information. I work with information. I work with crime. I deal with crime. I have to get information from all over the country, and whatever information that I get, to me, helps me.
So again, so how many times more or less did he phone you? How many times more or less did he meet you? Was the Cape Town breakfast meeting on January 8th or wherever it was, on the eve of January 8th, was that the only time you actually...
He met me only once here in Cape Town. And even when he left, he forgot to pay. And then
So he peddles information and he must pay for it.
no, he forgot to pay, and then he said to me, "Hey, I forgot to pay there. Can you pay?" I didn't agree to pay because I didn't know that I was going to have a guest that I must pay breakfast for.
Yeah.
So I didn't pay. He then said he had to come and pay.
So he's some guy. And so during this meeting at breakfast, and you still haven't said how many calls more or less he made to you.
No, when he was here, Chair, it was that one call when he came here, and then from that was it. To greet, and that was it. It's not like we are friends. We are not close to each other.
Does he phone you or do you phone him, and do you have his number on your phone?
I had his number on my phone. I do have his number on my phone, but many a times he's the one who calls. I don't call.
And in these calls that he made to you and the meeting he had, did he mention the name of Nhlanhla to you?
No. He never mentioned. It does happen sometimes when he will talk about the issue of Kat who's been arrested and things that he reads on the newspaper. But I will not really entertain him on such cases,
Do you know Nhlanhla?
I know Nhlanhla.
How do you know him? Have you got a relationship with him?
No. Before I came back to the police, I didn't know Kat, Mr. Matlala. I didn't know Mr. Matlala, and I got to know Mr. Matlala when he called, asking, wanting to meet. And I said, no, come to the office.
When was that call?
The call was around about I can't remember exactly, but I do have the bundle when they wanted to have a meeting with the lawyer because they did came. I don't know with my legal team whether we did put. I have it, Chair. If we can maybe like during lunch or after, just produce the paperwork. Unless
Can you look at what this is? This is a next to. Thank you, Maria. This is at pages 203 to 205 to your statement. It's not 203, 205. And it's you deal with it in your statement on page 26 from paragraph 81. Page 203, it's SB 14.1.
see, mine is blank, Chair.
Hmm. 203 to 205. They're all blank, or is it just 203?
No, they shouldn't be blank. There is a letter.
Or is it just a really poor print? Just turn over the next page. Sorry, the SB 14.1 it just reads Vusi Matlala sent on Thursday, the 22nd of February 2024. It's to Major General Sitoli, care of Deputy National Commissioner Crime Detection, and then Public Works lease. And this is in connection with the lease agreement, Medicare 24, Tshwane District. This is a letter of demand. And then if you go over the page, this is 204 to 205. You see that letter?
Yes, I see the letter.
It's dated the 19th of January 2024, and it's addressed to the National Commissioner. It's on the letterhead of attorneys S.J. Nhlanhla. So the question is, are you aware of that email and the attached letter of demand?
Yes, I'm aware, Chair.
And it's, if you look at your page 26 of your statement, perhaps you can just, if that can help you refresh your memory, paragraph 81. Where you say, I know Vusimuzi Matala as a service provider of the SAPS.
Paragraph 28, page 28.
Page 26.
26.
Paragraph 81.
Yes.
Do you want to read from there, or do you want to?
Yes, I do know Vusi Matlala as a service provider of the South African Police Service. He's well known in the South African Police because he was at the time running a hospital at a subs college. As far as I know, he was awarded a healthcare contract at the police. I, however, do not know exactly the detail of the contract because that's between supply chain and it's in another division. And then during about February 2024, when I was acting National Commissioner, Mr. Matala set up an appointment to visit me at my office. On his visit, Mr. Matala complained that he has been awarded the tender, but he was not allowed to use the facility and thus not able to deliver in terms of the tender agreement. He also finished me with a letter. He also finished me with a letter addressed to the National Commissioner. And a copy of this letter is attached here to SB 14.1, which is page 203.
Yeah, 204 and 5 is the letter.
Yes. Mr. Matala also had a letter from Public Works which confirmed that he received a lease agreement to utilize the building. I then consulted with the National Commissioner on the issue, and his response was that Public Works was not going to tell us on how to utilize our building. So the tender nevertheless continued. My responsibility in this regard was to just give Mr. Matala feedback on what had transpired when I had informed the National Commissioner, which I did. I did not know Mr. Matala before the meeting.
And did you, what happened with these demands? Do you know whether there were any legal proceedings subsequent to the letter of demand?
Not at all. There were no further demand that I'm aware of. What I know is that he kept on working. We met him many times at the college. When there are events at the college, you would have at the stadium where you have your gazebos, you have Metropolitan, Old Mutual, other service providers, gazebos, everyone displaying their own products. And then you will also have Medi24 where they also do high blood and sugar diabetes tests and all that, things like those. So this is a person who was just known by a lot of generals there and other colleagues. So I knew him.
Okay. May we please take Honorable Sangwe.
Thank you, Chair. No, just clarity, please, General, through you, Chair. On paragraph 81, which is the facility, and then is it interchangeable with the building? So what is this? Is this the college, the hospital? What was he complaining about?
Yeah, you see, every college will have a clinic, or I don't know whether they call it hospital or clinic, so that as the students are busy with training, and should one of them fall ill or injured, but you have an hospital where you can go and be attended to. Now, he was of the view or feeling that he's not being allowed to access the hospital, but yet he's been given a tender. And at the same time, he's been made to fail because now he's struggling to deliver, but at the same time, services are expected from him, but he's not being allowed to be able to occupy the facility. That was the basis for the complaint.
Are you satisfied, Honorable Member?
Yes, thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Senior Counsel, you may proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. So you addressed this with the National Commissioner,
Yes,
and this would have been General Masmola.
yes.
And do you know whether it was resolved?
I don't know.
You don't know. And did Mr. Nhlanhla or his attorney contact you again after that?
No, I've never dealt with the matter of agreed in relation to this one.
And is it your evidence that you only then met him, had contact with him, interacted with him from time to time, like the other generals
Yes,
in the service at some of these occasions at the college, in his capacity as a service provider?
as a service provider, as a stakeholder, yes.
So how would you describe your relationship with him? Just certainly not as a maybe
We are not friends, or we were not friends. But at the same time, I was getting to know him. I wasn't really, it was, if ever I've met, in my whole life, I've met Mr. Nhlanhla, it is 5 times less. It's not someone that I was really close to. It was just the beginning of knowing each other more. So my interactions with him is really very, very, very limited.
So let me ask you about, you have seen the affidavit, of Brigadier Kuneni in the search and seizure application. And can I direct your attention to page 20 of the core bundle? This is part of the, it starts at page 1. It's the court order search and seizure access in terms of the Cyber Crimes Act. And on page 3, you'll see this search, access and seizure warrant pertains to Mr. Shadrack Mongo Sibiya.
Page 20.
Sorry?
Page 20.
Yeah, page 20. I'm just giving some introduction to it. And then this is the document that was filed in the High Court. And Annexure A to the application is the affidavit of William Sipho Kuneni, Brigadier in the South African Police. He's the head of head of Serious and Violent Crimes Unit in KZN. And then at page 20, from paragraph 34 onwards, or at the top of page 20, it says that, let me go to page 19, paragraph 33, sorry. On 14 May 2025, Nhlanhla was arrested on the Sandton docket, and the police seized his cell phones together with SIM cards for further investigation. Nhlanhla was asked to consent for the search, access, and seizure without a warrant. Nhlanhla agreed and signed the formal consent form, which is attached. Then paragraph 34, Colonel Diezi from the Digital Forensic Investigations Unit forensically searched and accessed Nhlanhla's cell phones in the Sandton docket and prepared a report. The purpose of searching and accessing Nhlanhla's phones was to establish the link in the Sandton docket between the suspects, Musa Kakani and Danny Mobusela on the one hand, and Nhlanhla. Sergeant Sitole received the forensic downloads in the report and saw messages that relate to the closure of the PKTT. Sergeant Sitole reports directly to Khumalo. The data uncovered on Nhlanhla's phones were communicated to Khumalo. Khumalo informed Masemola what was discovered on Nhlanhla's phones. Masemola engaged with Mkhwanazi as a provincial commissioner, affected by the decision to disband the team. This culminated in the media briefing of 6 July 2025. Digital evidence extracted from Nhlanhla's devices reveals conversations between him and Mkhwanazi, in which the latter wrote, and I quote, "I have arranged a meeting for Sibiya and the minister. They must have a solution." A further message from Mkhwanazi stated, "The task team that came to your house and harassed you have been dissolved. They got the letter on Monday. As we speak, they are bringing all dockets to Sibiya." Then the affidavit reads further, "I hasten to add that these conversations took place on 1 January 2025, long before Sibiya issued the instruction for dockets, which were investigated by PKTT to be transferred to Pretoria. Further messages shows that Nhlanhla financially supported Nkunu's political campaign and paid for certain expenses for the direct and indirect benefit of Nkunu."
Okay, Senior
Yes.
Counsel, that will be the last question before we get a break.
Then on Sibiya, you'll have some time to ponder on this and respond when we get back from lunch. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
No, if he so wishes, he can respond and we break. And if he feels he wants to respond after break, you are still welcome, General.
Chair, may I suggest that I read this thing because this one is a statement. I just want to read it in its totality so that I can then be ready to respond. Thanks.
You are allowed. Do you want to respond now or when we come back?
I thought when we come back, because I was going to have a chance now to go through it.
Okay,
Thanks.
that's okay. No, we are breaking for 30 minutes, honorable members.
Okay. Now we're gonna look at the answer why you can't be more. Because it's proud of it much that everybody it might be good. I don't know. It's the part you mean. It's only the lag. Lunch, yeah. Because of the it's like that. So it's fun. What's the case? This is a cold. Because it was all cold is completely. Oh my God. It only depends on the can show it to be I think they think if you don't have it.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back, General Sibiya.
Thank you, Chair.
Senior Counsel, we may resume.
Thank you, Honorable Chair, honorable members. General Sibiya, you're still under oath. Tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. You had some time to think and reflect. So we're just waiting for your responses to those WhatsApps.
Let me go to, what page was that?
Sorry, 19 and 20 of the core bundle. It's in the affidavit of Kunene, the investigating officer. And the relevant messages where your name is mentioned is at paragraph 37 on page 20.
Digital evidence extracted from Nhlanhla's device reveals conversation between him and Mkhwanazi in which latter wrote, I have arranged a meeting for Sibiya and the minister. They must have a solution. A further message from Mkhwanazi stated, the task team that came to your house and harassed you have been dissolved. They got a letter on Monday as we speak. They are bringing all doggers to Sibiya. Now, my comment, Chair, in relation to this, I listened at some point, I listened to the communication or to the bail hearing of CAT wherein mention was made that the phones were taken and taken to a private company and tampered with and messages removed or inserted. I'm not sure about whether it's true or not. I'm not so sure. That is a subject that still needs to be investigated. However, only concern that I have is that, firstly, this is a discussion between two people that does not involve me. I'm not part to this discussion where my name appears in this thing between the two people. I think they can come and explain that part. But at the same time, when I look at the fact that there are concerns that says this phones was taken to a private company and then downloaded or messaged or tampered with, it's something else. I'm just raising this to say that under normal circumstances, in a situation like this, when you're dealing with devices, the devices are taken to an expert who then mirror image the device and then will then come and say, this is a device that was brought by Brigadier Kunene. And in the presence of Brigadier Kunene or so-and-so, I downloaded or I mirror image this document or this device, whether it's a laptop or whether it's a cell phone. And then this is the information that I found from this device. Now, if there are signs whether there is a 212 statement or a statement that explains this process, I don't know, and I don't want to get too deep into that if that is the case. But my problem is where our names are being used here, say, I have arranged a meeting for Sibiya and a minister. In my case, no person ever arranged a meeting between the minister and myself. The minister, if he wants a meeting, he will call for a meeting. Or the National Commissioner will arrange, the National Commissioner's office will arrange. Not a person who is an outsider say, I've arranged a meeting between you and the minister.
It sounds to me that you doubt or dispute the authenticity of this WhatsApp.
Not disputing, but I doubt. I'm concerned because if this house had to invite the expert that downloaded this thing and say, this is who I am, these are my qualifications, this is the system that I use to download this, and this is what I analyzed, this is what I found, and then it is in my professional capacity and my qualifications to be able to issue this statement, and this is what I say. To me, I mean, this is an expert evidence.
But that's what the affidavit says at paragraph 34, is that Lieutenant Colonel Tiesi, I don't know if you know him personally, from the Digital Forensic Investigations Unit, forensically searched and accessed Nhlanhla's cell phones in the Sandton docket and prepared a report. The purpose of searching and accessing Nhlanhla's phones was to establish the link in the Sandton docket between the suspects Musa Kakani and Danny Mabusela on the one hand and Nhlanhla on the other. So this process is described. Unfortunately, we have also asked for the supporting or the confirmatory affidavits to this affidavit of Kunene's, and we haven't received them. I don't know if your legal team has requested them or received them, because one must assume, just being in this profession, one must assume that there'd be an affidavit from Tiesi where he confirms that I refer to paragraph 34, whatever, and I confirm that I did X, Y, and Z, and it's confirmed.
I will tell you the problem that I have with this type of approach from the side of Lieutenant Colonel JC. If Lieutenant Colonel JC is a member of the political killing task team itself, then it begs a question of independence and neutrality, because an expert must be neutral and must not be part of the same team. Because if he's part of the same team, they can produce any result they want. So it's a concern for me.
I mean, he's clearly, or it seems from Kunene's affidavit that he's not. He's from the Digital Forensic Investigations Unit. You should know who's in that unit. You're the head of forensics, the detectives, crime intelligence.
Remember, General Mkhwanazi said that they also have the ballistic units, they also have the forensic unit within them. I do know that I have received such complaint from the component head where they wanted certain members to come back from political killing testing, because they say it's affecting their cases, because should their cases be questioned, you cannot really exercise independence and say, I'm an independent forensic expert when you are part of the team that is actually conducting investigation. We can actually investigate you and place you on the scene anytime, even if you are not there, this is part of the team. But if it is an independent thing, where, like in any other criminal case that is being done, you investigate, you send staff to head office, forensics, then it gets registered in the registers, it goes through the normal channels, get processed that side, and then sent. It's neutral. But however, I'm not here to challenge the authenticity. I say I doubt if that is the case. But safe to say that this is a discussion between two people. I've never sat in a meeting that was arranged by Brown Mokhosi with the meeting. He's never called me and said, have a meeting with the minister or with Nkabinde.
But this message doesn't imply or allege that you know Mkhwanazi.
No,
what it does say is that him, Martin Petler, he has arranged a meeting for you and the minister, and they must have a solution, whatever that solution might be.
It never happened. It never happened, because when you follow a series of correspondence, in relation to the disbandment of the PKTT, comes back and dates back as far as 2019, the disbandment, to an extent that it was even announced that the specialized units will be introduced. And those specialized units, among others, they include the dissolvement of the task teams. That's including the dissolvement of the task teams, introducing the specialized units such as murder and robbery units. Now, murder and robbery unit, which is set to investigate like your ordinary murders, your police killings, your serial murders, including your political killings. Hence, you had in the meeting with General Khumalo in Parliament, General Khumalo said, these dockets will be taken to the murder and robbery unit. Now, the murder and robbery unit, as mandate, is to investigate, including political killing.
Now, can we at least accept this? One, that he has your number.
Yes.
Okay. Two, your number is on his phone.
Right?
Three, he has phoned you on several occasions.
Yes.
You've never phoned him.
I have.
You've also phoned
I
him.
have called him.
Okay, so you've also phoned. So it's not surprising that when they retrieve or access data on his phone, that a message from him to you or you to him would also be on the phone.
Yes. In relation to this part that, because in my discussions with whatever that I talked to him about, we've never gotten to a point where we talk about the minister. That's why you will not find anything from me.
So the only issue then is the content of this message. You deny that what's in this message is in fact what happened. Is that?
Yes.
Is that what one
Yes, yes. We never had a meeting with the minister because of the instruction or the arrangement made by any other person.
So that's another, from your viewpoint, that's another fact that as far as you're concerned, there was never a meeting between you and the minister involving Mkhwanazi or Nhlanhla.
No.
You sure about that?
The only meeting where we sat with the minister, it was in the presence of all other senior managers, wherein the minister was questioning the issue of the tender that was awarded and actually ordering that this tender be investigated. That's where I sat in that meeting, where Nhlanhla was discussed.
That's the Swani and Netgate 24 tender.
It's one police college here to discuss that tender.
Yeah, and ironically, that tender was then cancelled by the National Commissioner.
Yes, on the instruction of the minister.
So if the minister was in bed with Nhlanhla in respect of a big tender like that, he may well have turned a blind eye or not have raised any objections to it.
Yes, considering the fact that it was issued before his time.
Yes, it was issued in 2024.
Yeah, during the time of Minister Big.
Minister
So when he came, it was already long issued.
He came subsequently, and of course we will ask him about it.
Yes, when the noise started to take place, that's when the minister asked about this tendency. What is going on here? What do we know about these things? Can it be investigated? And that's when the investigative process started to investigate it. Up until the minister says, then cancel this term.
So just to come back to this message. So it can only be that Nhlanhla had made this up, this message. Which I mean, if it's case with peddlers or people who peddle information, I suppose that's what they could do. I'm trying to narrow what the issue here is here. This is a message on his phone. He's got your number. He knows you. You've spoken. He phoned you. You phoned him. And now he says to Mkhwanazi, I've arranged a meeting. You're not aware of this message, firstly.
I saw the messages for the first time when they were displayed, I think by General Khumalo.
Yeah. So one, you obviously don't know this message.
No, I'm not aware of these
Yeah.
messages, and I was really not part of this discussion.
And two, you are not party to him arranging any meeting between you and the minister.
Not at all.
Okay. And when he talks about a solution to what do you know what he's referring to?
I don't know. I think maybe he can come and explain. But in my case, when you look at the correspondences in relation or leading to the ultimate disbandment, you can see that starting from the presentation that was made in Parliament, it is not influenced by any other thing, even leading to, let's say for an example, let me refer the honorable members to a document that I want to refer to, is that one of the establishment of the specialized units. Chair, I'm up and down because the evidence leader is asking questions.
At item SP 13 on pages 120 to 166.
So now, when you look at this way, DNC management,
Which page, General?
page 120.
Yeah.
This is a work study investigation report, and it talks about the establishment of specialized capacities, anti-gang units, murder and robbery units, inclusive of taxi violence and cold case investigation function within the South African Police Service. And specifically, draw you to page 131.
131.
Yeah. Paragraph 5.4.2, it talks about the mandate, murder and robbery, which include taxi violence. It says murders will be restricted to the following: all identified serial murders, murder and attempted murders are committed against officials employed in the criminal justice system whilst in the execution of their duties, police killings, political murders and attempted murders, murder of elderly as defined by the older persons. Now, it also told about robbery, who will be investigating robbery. But further than that, we then go to the one that speaks to the evaluation. It's also a follow-up on the work study report that says the purpose of this project had a dual purpose. The main purpose of this investigation is to determine the implementation status of specialized units that were established and reviewed in the detective service since 2016. Combined to that is the evaluation of the allocation of resources as well as the necessity of this unit based on the restricted posts available. Now, this document, honorable members, without going maybe just to read this history and background, it talks about this work study is based on concluded work study investigations that were conducted and approved since 2016 for the establishment of various specialized capacities in the detective service. This work study investigations includes the following: the review of the detective service structure in 2016 were conducted in the inclusion of capacities for both organized crime investigation unit as well as commercial crime investigation unit for re-establishment in their subs in response to the migration of the resources for the Directorate of Priority Crime Investigation in 2009. Both these units were also reviewed to determine their ideal post structures. Now, I want to just, without any waste of time, Chair, go to page 176 in this document.
176.
Yes, 176 paragraph. I'll read in each paragraph that I want to specifically quote. So in 6.4.4, it talks about, it says, it is evident that the historical specialized capacities are better implemented than the newly established units. The units that is the best capacitated according to the personal strength, FCS, taxi violence capacity within the murder and robbery unit, which is 74%, anti-corruption unit, 52%. It is, however, evident that there is a shortage at all the specialized capacities. The worst allocation to any unit is currently commercial crime unit. Now, murder and robbery units are at 18% implemented and organized crime at 28%. The reason for the next paragraph, 6.4.5, it says the provincial investigation unit, although present and part of the structure of the detective service since 2016, have not been established in 7 provinces. Northwest allocated one commander to the PIU, but what I want to bring to the attention of this House is the reason for the establishment of this unit was to ensure that provincial directed investigations could be conducted with the alternative function to also replace the numerous task teams that were functioning at provincial levels. It is necessary to look at the status of the provincial units' capacities and make a decision based on implementation of possibly to close down the capacities at provincial level, to close down these task teams. This would also alleviate the need to establish a capacity without a need in the current circumstances, and there are continuous budget cuts, especially for compensation. Closure of the provincial investigation unit would then relieve some pressure on additional unit that needs capacity resources. Now, when you turn to the next page, on page 177, it says these task teams should be placed within the murder and robbery unit to capacitate and direct the focus on a permanent structure within the necessary command and control budget and capability instead of functioning in silos. Now, this says,
but just to pause there, if you look at the task teams that you are referring to, you look at page 177, because the criticism is at paragraph 6.4.5.1 on page 177. This seems to be the criticism. The task teams that are not monitored run rampant for years without determining or accounting for the gap left where the members were taken from, mostly at station level. The task teams found operating in provinces are as follows. And you can look there: foreign vehicle task team, multi-trip task teams functioning in various provinces. essential infrastructure task teams, kidnapping and ransom task teams, extortion teams, counterintelligence task team, anti-gang task team, cash in transit aid and ATM bombing task team, political murders team, multidisciplinary task team, knockout team, concentrating on illicit mine, narcotics task team, provincial tracing task, illegal mining task. Where does it mention the political killings task team other than you see a reference there to political murders team?
A political murders team is the same as political killing task team.
Is that what you
Yes,
say?
the same team. Now,
But this is a 2019 report. There's two work study. No, this is a work study. There's two work studies you referred. SB 13 is June 9, 2019 from page 120 to 166. We are now dealing with a work study of 14 June 2019, which in brackets it says it was approved on the 5th of June 2025. That's at 167 to 202. So this 177 is the work study dated 2019-24, but approved on the 5th of June 25.
it's the same document that talks about the task teams that are existing. And this task team must come to an end, basically. And this is approved. Now, listen to my comment, honorable members and chair, because this document, it comes back a long way. And this is why sometimes, depending on how effective you are, these documents, you do a lot of work study and you waste a lot of money in conducting work study investigations, but not implemented. Now, when you go to page 200, this is my comment before the signature. I say it is deeply concerning.
Yeah, let's go to page 200 and see what you say. You say this on the 16th of September 2024.
Yes.
And just remind me, was the Minister Nkunu, was he appointed already? 24?
Yes.
He was July 24.
Yes.
Okay.
So now I say it is deeply concerning that a study of this nature was undertaken and approved by the National Commissioner since 2016, date, but not implemented by the respective provinces. What is also of concern is that despite numerous work study approvals by different national commissioners, little to no effort was made by provinces to resource and implement the resources, and implement the approved recommendations. This has significantly contributed to the poor performance of the detectives. In the recent crime stats release, it was evident that commercial crime investigation was neglected, considering the fact that the study proves a 17% implementation. Little else can be expected to a greater extent. There is 46 units not implemented, whereas 42 were only partially implemented. In other words, the detectives are operating under a complete deficit. There is an overall 57% shortage of capacity. Now, this is me trying to say it's a cause for concern that this study was undertaken but not implemented because it addresses the challenges within the detectives.
Okay. So,
Chair, just on a point of clarity, please.
Honorable Matthews.
Thank you. Just clarity. So this report or the work study investigation was done in 2016 or it was commissioned in 2016 and then it was only signed off in 2024. Is that what I'm understanding? Because I heard Senior Counsel say something about 2025. So I just wanted clarity on that.
It was started in 2016, and then it was circulating now in between the offices from 2016 to up until it was signed by the National Commissioner on the 5th of June 2025. I raised a concern myself when I say it is deeply concerning that a study of this nature was undertaken and approved by the National Commissioner since 2016 to date, but not implemented by the specific provinces. This is what I say. And the National Commissioner, upon receiving this document in front,
Yeah, just hold it there. Are you fine, Honorable Member?
No, Chair, because the date here has, and maybe you can just point me, it's got, okay, let me just go to, it's got 2024. It was signed off on the 6th, or it's got a date here of the 6th of March, 2024. So where's the signature of the National Commissioner for 2025?
page 202.
Oh, okay. I see it. Thank you. Thank you.
National Commissioner says implementation of these units must be expedited by the DNC crime detection, which is me, DIFCOM detectives and provincial commissioners. Now, here we are talking to implementing the specialized units.
General, just before you go further, let's just understand the process, which I also want some clarity on, causing some confusion. This is a work study. It starts in 2016,
Yes.
but it's not as if it was done by Major Fisser or somebody.
Nzama.
So it's not as if it's done in 2016 and then it gets passed on to you to look at and make your comments. The study is actually an ongoing piece of work that he does.
Yes, on a continuous basis.
And then it looks like in fact, it looks like it is submitted in 2024. If one looks at, if you start, are these all the senior officials in office at the time? The first, if you go to page 193, the first senior person is a brigadier, the section head, organizational design, operational services. SJ is a Kaibi.
Yes.
That he or she signs on the 18th of March 2024.
Yes.
Then the next one is Major General Mzima, Head Organizational Development, on the 14th of May 2024. Then on the 22nd of May 2024, Major General Maxon, Commercial Crime Investigation. But let's just look at their comments. The first one from KEB says, thanks, Colonel, for the comprehensive work study report. Paragraph 8 is supported. That's the recommendations. It is on page 186. It is recommended that this investigation be disseminated to all provincial commissioners after completion of comments and signatures.
Yes.
So this must mean that Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi also had sight of this work study.
That's correct.
Proper planning and implementation be done in all provinces regarding capacitation of specialized investigating units for both physical and human resources. Implementation plan should include all support and detective structures in the province and be approved with feedback dates on progress made with the implementation. The criteria be developed between organizational development and strategic planning in all provinces. There's a whole range of the command structure of the specialist units on page 187 are prioritized. The criteria for the allocation of posts include a possible review of station detective posts, possible vacancies. Then 8.9. No task teams be established without written and approved documentation from the provincial commissioner, indicating the start date and estimated end date, as well as dates for impact analysis on a quarterly basis. 8.10. Current task teams be subjected to an impact analysis by organizational development and strategic management in the province to ensure the feasibility of the existing teams. The provincial investigating units in the provinces that have been established be closed, as discussed in 645, 646, and that's the initial criticism that you had referred to at page 177.
Yes, Chair, Chair and honorable members.
And members currently placed at established PIUs, that's provincial investigating unit, be subjected to a skills determination evaluation in order to be placed at murder and robbery, organized and commercial crime. The provincial investigation units be removed from the structure of detective service as a prioritization as well as cost-saving measure. What did that mean, since you are the head of detectives?
What this whole thing actually, this whole exercise means is that we've got task teams that are all over the country, and they are not properly monitored nor controlled. If, for an example, now there is fire somewhere in the Eastern Cape, we form a task team, we take certain members from different offices. Those members leave the docket, they peg them there in the office of the commander. They go for the task team, and they claiming a lot of money every day to be there. The same applies to this same task team. You must watch, this committee must request for an audit of the overtime and the SNT claimed by these members of this task team since their establishment. Now, I say, when you look at Vision 2030, we've got to build a capable state, well-resourced, with technology, capable and able. In other words, whatever crime that is committed, whether you are in Cape Town, whether you are in Northwest, Limpopo, every office must be capable, must be able to do the work. Now you are sitting with a very small pool of excellence in KZN. That selects whatever they want to do, but with a budget almost 500 million today. Now, I'm sitting with Westbury, I'm sitting with El Dorado Park, I'm sitting with Hanover Park, I'm sitting with all those areas, sensitive areas, where every day I get videos of a shootout, mothers crying, where we need to focus our energy, but we're not focusing our energy there. We're focusing our energy on a PKTT in KZ, and that is actually every 3 months applying for millions of rand too. So I say it's not helping the country at all. It's not helping the country. We must build the country in such a way that capacity must be evenly distributed, but it must be, every office must be as prolific as possible. I think even when you look at the FBI, when a case is open, you are sure that it will be attended to. It doesn't have to be, we don't have to rely on the PKTTs to be called someone from KZ. So I'm just saying, personally, I feel that we need to equip all the offices of the murder and robbery units. Now, when the minister started, the notes that I made in one of the meetings, the minister says, Minister Mkhwanazi expressed his concerns regarding the political killings task team. He suggested that instead of establishing separate units to focus on different types of murders, the organization should consider establishing a single integrated unit under the umbrella of murder and robbery unit. This unit would operate nationally, ensuring a more streamlined and coordinated approach to address such crime across the country. Now, this is the minister, and at that time, the minister had just arrived. It was just a big feedback sessions. We were discussing these issues in a boardroom with all the other executives. Then this is the National Commissioner's response. And I must hasten to also indicate that what was said to be closed is not the PKTT alone. There was also an inspectorate. The inspectorate, the minister said here that Minister Mkhwanazi cited that legislative imperative is what we would be worried about when designing organizational structure. We need to be concerned of economic growth, capable state, and removing poverty, as well as intervening. In what is causing the disclosure of trade, you must also adhere to the mandate of the 7th administration in addressing corruption and that. Now, Minister Mkhwanazi required a narrative between the relationship between provincial commissioners, deputy national commissioners. He further guided the relationship linkage by having dotted lines to indicate of those that are directly reporting to the national commissioner. Now, General Masemola clarified to the minister on the relationship between provincial commissioners and the DNCs. Now, this is in that meeting, but specifically what I want to talk about on the issue of disbandment of the inspectorate, General Masemola indicated that it can be done, but to implement it would come with the cost implementing such